Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Monday, June 29th, 2020. Today I'm going to open the show discussing the NBA releasing its schedule on Friday night for its return to play in terms of the regular season games that are remaining in this. Major League Baseball set an opening date and matchups, so we'll discuss that. KBO. We'll go over the games from the weekend, look ahead to tomorrow's games. Soccer, we'll go over the weekend's games, look ahead to today's games. We'll recap the 4 NASCAR races from the weekend. Golf, we'll go over the Travelers Championship. And I'll save the biggest news in terms of sports from a player to a new team standpoint for the end of the show. All right, I'm going to start with the NBA schedule. It came out on Friday night, and the opening game is the Pelicans against the Jazz. So Zion Williamson, of course, is in the first game against the Utah Jazz. Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert. That's at 6:30 on TNT. Also on Thursday, July 30th, you have the Clippers against the Lakers on TNT at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern. So a good little doubleheader. Filled of star power. You got Zion, you got Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert. You got LeBron and Anthony Davis. You got Kawhi and Paul George. So that's a really cute doubleheader you got there. I think the second game's the better of the two because they're obviously rivals and in the same city. And the first game's intriguing because of Zion. And then on the 31st, you have a couple of games. You have 6. You got Orlando, Brooklyn at 2:30. You got Memphis, Portland at 4, as well as Phoenix and Washington. And they're using 3 courts for the tournament. On ESPN at 6:30 on July 31st, you have the Celtics and the Bucks. So you got Giannis against Kemba Walker and Jason Tatum. You got the Spurs and the Kings at 8 o'clock. That's a big game. And then the Mavericks and the Rockets. So that is Doncic and Porzingis against Harden and Westbrook. You have a quadruple header on August 1st, the Sunday. 1 o'clock, Miami-Denver, so that's Jokic against Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. 3:30, you got the Thunder against the Jazz, so that's Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert against Chris Paul. 6 o'clock on ESPN, you got the Pelicans and the Clippers, so Zion against Kawhi and Paul George. 7 o'clock, it's not on TV, Philly and Indiana. So you got Oladipo against Embiid and Simmons. And then 8:30 on ESPN, you got the Lakers and the Raptors. So you got LeBron James and Anthony Davis against the reigning champion Toronto Raptors. On Sunday the 2nd, you got Washington and Brooklyn, ABC, Portland, Boston. So Tatum against Lillard on ABC. Spurs, Memphis, Kings, Magic. Sunday primetime on ABC. This is a good matchup. Bucks, Rockets. So you got Giannis and Chris Middleton in that team that finished the regular season with the best record before the stoppage against James Harden and Russell Westbrook and the Rockets instead of Saturday primetime, Sunday primetime. So you can bank on that game being Mike Breen, Mark Jackson, and Jeff Van Gundy. And then 9 o'clock, you have Dallas and Phoenix. And oh, by the way, I think there's going to be a couple different announcing groups calling the games. I don't know if they're going to be calling them from Bristol or what, because I heard Kevin Harlan a few weeks ago saying that TNT is going to broadcast the games from their Atlanta studios. I have no idea what ESPN's plans are doing. And then the Monday the 3rd, you have Toronto and Miami on NBA TV at 1:30. 4 o'clock on NBA TV of Denver and Oklahoma City. Indiana and Washington, 6:30 ESPN, you have the Grizzlies and the Pelicans, so Zion against Morant there. You got the Spurs and the Sixers, and then the Lakers and the Jazz. So you got Gobert and Mitchell against Davis and LeBron. Tuesday, August 4th, busy day. You got Brooklyn and Milwaukee, 1:30 on TNT, 2:30 Dallas, Sacramento, 4 o'clock NBA TV, Phoenix and the Clippers. 6 o'clock, Orlando, Indiana. 6:30 TNT, got Boston, Miami. And then 9 o'clock TNT of Houston, Portland. So, couple of good matchups there. You got Jimmy Butler against Jason Tatum, and then you got Lillard against Harden, so that's pretty neat. Wednesday, August 5th, busy day. 2:30 p.m. Memphis, Utah. 4 o'clock NBA TV. Sixers, Wizards. You got Denver and the Spurs. 6:30 ESPN. You have OKC and the Lakers, so Chris Paul against LeBron. 8 o'clock, you have Toronto and Orlando. 9 o'clock, you have Brooklyn and Boston. Thursday, August 6th, you got at 1:30 NBA TV, Pelicans and the Kings, so Zion against De'Aaron Fox. Triple header on TNT on August 6th. You have Miami and Milwaukee, so Giannis against Jimmy Butler. Another 4 o'clock game that's not on TV, the Pacers and the Suns. 6:30 TNT, you have the Clippers and the Mavs, so you got Doncic against Kawhi and Paul George. 8 o'clock's Portland, Denver, and then 9 o'clock on TNT's Lakers, Rockets, so LeBron against Harden. Friday, August 7th, you have Utah and the Spurs at 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock NBA TV, OKC, Memphis, 5 o'clock Sacramento, Brooklyn, 6:30 TNT, Orlando, Philly, so the Magic getting some respect and getting on national TV, so you got Aaron Gordon and Nikola Vucevic against Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, and the Sixers. Pelicans against the Wizards, and then 9 o'clock TNT, we have Boston and Toronto, so good Eastern Conference rivalry there. August 8th, you have a busy day in terms of nationally televised games. 1 o'clock, Clippers, Portland, so Lillard and Kawhi and Paul George. Utah, Denver, so two of the better teams in the West going at it. Jokic against Gobert is a good big man match there. 6 o'clock TNT. You have the Lakers and the Pacers, so LeBron against Oladipo. 7:30 Phoenix, Miami, and then 8:30 ESPN Milwaukee, Dallas. So you got Doncic against Zion there, so that's pretty neat. Sunday, August 9th, you have 12:30 Washington, Oklahoma City. 2 o'clock Memphis, Toronto. 3 o'clock ABC Spurs, Pelicans. So you got DeRozan and Aldridge against Zion there. 5 o'clock, you have Orlando and Boston. 6:30 NBA TV, Philly and Portland. 8 o'clock, Houston, Sacramento. 9 o'clock, NBA TV, Brooklyn Clippers. Monday, August 10th, 2:30, you got OKC and the Suns. 3 o'clock, NBA TV, Dallas, Utah. 6:30, ESPN, Toronto, Milwaukee. So the Eastern Conference Finals rematch there. 8 o'clock, you have Indiana and Miami. 9 o'clock, you have Denver and the Lakers. So that's a pretty good matchup there. Tuesday on the 11th, very busy day, 7 games. You got Brooklyn, Orlando at 1 o'clock. 2 o'clock, you have Houston and San Antonio. 4:30, Phoenix and Philly. By the way, Houston, San Antonio, NBA TV. 5 o'clock, Portland, Dallas. TNT, 6:30 on the 11th, Boston, Memphis. So you got John Morant against Jason Tatum. And then New Orleans, Sacramento at 9 o'clock. So De'Aaron Fox against Zion there. And then Milwaukee, Washington. Wednesday, the 12th. You have only 4 games. 4 o'clock NBA TV. Houston against Indiana. 6:30 ESPN, Toronto, Philly. So you got the reigning champs against Simmons and Embiid. Conference semifinal rematch there. 8 o'clock, you have Miami, OKC. And at 9 o'clock, ESPN, Clippers, Denver. TBD on August 13th, a Thursday. Washington, Boston, Portland, Brooklyn, Sacramento, Lakers, Milwaukee, Memphis, Pelicans, Magic, Dallas, Phoenix, San Antonio, Utah. And then Friday the 14th, Philly, Houston, Miami, Indiana, OKC, Clippers, and Denver, Toronto. And the playoffs are supposed to start around the 16th. So we'll get more into the how this all works out for who's going to get the 8 seed and how the 8 seeds in each conference and the seeding changes and whatnot. We'll get into that on another day on the podcast, maybe even tomorrow. All right, over the weekend it was reported that the Washington Nationals, your reigning World Series champions, will open the MLB season at home against Gerrit Cole and the New York Yankees. This should absolutely be the opening day matchup, considering how Major League Baseball is doing their season with a majority of division games and then your interleague same region. So, for example, Yankees, Nationals, AL East, NL East. So this is the best possible matchup they can get for an opening day. You got the reigning World Series champions with their ace, Max Scherzer, against the presumptive American League favorites going into the shortened 2019 season, the New York Yankees with their newly signed ace, Garrett Cole. So this is a sexy matchup, and this should absolutely be the matchup. I know a lot of people in the area were screaming Yankees-Mets, DeGrom versus Cole. That's fun too, and you know that game's going to be on national TV, but they did the right thing. Max Scherzer in the Nationals, Garrett Cole in the Yankees. The reigning world champion should always be the first game, just like it is for the NBA, just like how they do it on the NHL opening night as well, and even the NFL. Baseball is finally doing it in that direction, and they couldn't have picked a better matchup with arguably the two very best pitchers in all of baseball, if not two of the best three pitchers in all of baseball. And that is going to be such a highly anticipated game. It's going to be ratings bonanza. If it's on Fox, it's a lock that Joe Buck's calling it because it's the Yankees and it's Max Scherzer and the Nationals. If it's on ESPN, it's a lock that it would be Matt Vasgersian and A-Rod and Jess Mendoza. So it's interesting to see what network lands the game. It'll be interesting to see what Fox and ESPN do in terms of their baseball coverage. Will they go to the stadiums, or will they be calling the games from Bristol or out in California, respectively? So that's something that has to be answered for that. And even the NHL, too. Like, where's Doc Emmerich, Eddie Olczyk, and Brian Boucher or Pierre Maguire going to be calling the games? Will they be calling it from those studios in New Jersey? Or will they be calling the games from the arenas in the respective hub arenas? So there's a lot of questions still to be answered with all these sports coming back. But seeing schedules of the sports and games is a beautiful thing to see. So Yankees Nationals is the MLB opener, reported by the New York Post from Nationals Park in Washington, D.C. So it's only fair that the reigning world champions gets the home game too. And it's just unfortunate because there likely won't be any fans. And yet another question that has to be answered about the MLB season, when our fans are going to be back. And I think that should be up to the states, like the governments of the states, and the number of capacity that they would like to allow. Already we're seeing NASCAR fans back in the stands. We didn't see it for Pocono yesterday because it's in Pennsylvania, but we saw it in Talladega, and we saw it in Homestead, Miami, and then we'll be seeing it when they race in Kentucky in a couple of weeks, and we could very well be seeing it at Indy this weekend as well. Now we'll go over the KBO games from the weekend and look ahead to the games tomorrow. It was an interesting weekend in the KBO. We're not going to be covering this league for much longer once Major League Baseball and the NBA start coming back. We're not going to be covering the KBO as much. Maybe we'll do it like once a week when we're not busy. But KBO has been a good distraction for the podcast to cover and take a look at and bet and whatnot. But this is not long for the podcast, barring a spike in coronavirus cases that has to put a repause on all the American sports. Kaiwum over Kia 1-0, KT over Hanwha 8-4, Lotte over Samsung 7-3, LG over SK 4-0, NC over Doosan 5-0. That was yesterday. Saturday, KT over Hanwha 7-2, Kaiwum over Kia 2-0, Samsung over Lotte 6-1, LG over SK 3-0, and Doosan over NC 12-3. Tomorrow's games all at 5:30 a.m. Eastern Time, 6:30 p.m. in Korea. You have the Eagles at the Tigers. You have the Wiz at the Twins. You have the Giants at the Dinos. You have the Wyverns at the Lions and the Bears at the Heroes. In terms of picks, I'm going to go with Kia. That's a no-brainer. I'm going to go with the Twins at home. I'm going to go with the Dinos to bounce back after getting beat, and then they did bounce back after that and beat Doosan yesterday. But they're just better than Latte. I'm going to pick Samsung over SK. Samsung's been playing a lot better. They've been one of the more improved teams in all of the KBO over the last couple of weeks. So they're going to get my respect. They're better than SK, actually. So they should be able to win that game. And then Doosan and Kaiwoom for tomorrow morning. I'm going to go with the Bears on the road. Your updated standings, you have the Dinos still at first place at 32-14. You got the Heroes in second place at 30-18. They are 3 back of the Dinos. 4 back in the loss column. You have the Bears at 28-19. They are 1 back in the loss column of the Heroes. The Twins are 27-20. They are a game back of the Bears. The Tigers are 24-21. They are 2 back of the Twins, 1 back in the loss column. The Lions are 500 at 24-24. They are tied in the win column with the Tigers, but the Tigers had a couple rainouts. But they are really 3 back in the loss column, 1.5 back just in general. Latte is 22-23. They're a game ahead in the loss column of Samsung and 2 behind in the win column of Samsung. So in real terms, they are a half game back of the Lions, that is the Latte Giants. The Wiz are 21-26. They're 3 back in the loss column of the Giants, 2 back in general. The Wyverns are 14-33. They are 7 games back of the Wiz. Hanwha is 12-36. They are 2.5 games back of the Wyverns, 3 back in the loss column. Now I'm going to go over the soccer results from the weekend. We are going to start with Bundesliga, and then we're going to do the Premier League, and then La Liga. And then after I go over every result from the weekend from soccer in each league, we're going to take a look at the standings like we just did with the KBO. Union Berlin over Dusseldorf, 3-0. Mönchengladbach over Hertha, 2-1. Wolfsburg loses to Bayern, 4-0. Eintracht Frankfurt over Paderborn, 3-2. Werder over 1 FC Köln, 6-1. SC Freiburg over Schalke, 4-0. Leverkusen over Mainz, 1-0. Hoffenheim over Dortmund, 4-0. RP Leipzig over Augsburg, 2-1. An updated look at your standings. And oh, by the way, Bundesliga, next time they'll be playing is Thursday. So we will preview and pick the matches, or the match. It's only one match on that's coming up on my screen here on Thursday's podcast. So your updated standings. Everybody has played 34 games. Bayern is in first place, running away with it. 26-6-4, 82 points. Second place is Dortmund, 21-6-7, 69 points. Third place, RP Leipzig, 18-12-4, 66 points. Fourth place, Mönchengladbach, 25-9, 65 points. Fifth place, Leverkusen, 19-6-9, 63 points. Sixth place, Hoffenheim, 15-7-12, 52 points. Seventh place, Wolfsburg, 13-10-11, 49 points. Eighth place, SC Freiburg, 13-9-12, 48 points. Ninth place, Eintracht Frankfurt, 13-6-15, 45 points. 10th place, Hertha, 11-8-15, 41 points. 11th place, Union Berlin, 12-5-17, 41 points. 12th, Schalke, 9-12-13, 39 points. 13th, Mainz, 11-4-19, 37 points. 14th, Number 1, FC Köln, 10-6-18, 36 points. 15th, Augsburg, 9-9-16, 36 points. 16th, Werder, 8-7-19, 31 points. 17th, Dusseldorf, 6-12-16, 30 points. And at the bottom, Paderborn, 4-8-22 with 20 points. Now we'll move over to the Premier League and go over the weekend's matches. Only two. Saturday, Wolves over Aston Villa 1-0. And yesterday, you had Southampton over Watford 3-1. Today, 3 o'clock, you have Crystal Palace hosting Burnley. These two teams are pretty even. If you ask me, they each have 42 points. We'll go over the standings as a whole in a matter of moments. This is a tough call for me. Burnley is a team that scores more goals, but Crystal Palace is better than Burnley in terms of goals allowed. So I'm going to call for the draw here. I don't know the number on it in terms of a betting line, but I'm going to go with the draw between Crystal Palace and Burnley for their match today. And now I'm going to look at the standings. Liverpool clinched the league recently. 28-2-1, 86 points. Second place, Manchester City, 23-8, 63 points. Third place, Leicester City, 16-7-8, 55 points. Fourth place, Chelsea, 16-6-9, 54 points. Fifth, Wolves, 13-13-6, 52 points. Sixth place, Manchester United, 13-10-8, 49 points. Seventh place, Tottenham, 12-9-10, 45 points. Eighth place, Sheffield United, 11-11-9, 44 points. Ninth place, Arsenal, 10-13-8, 43 points. 11th place, Crystal Palace, 11-9-11, 42 points. 11th place, Burnley, 12-6-13, 42 points. 12th, Everton, 11-8-12, 41 points. 13th, Southampton, 12-4-16, 40 points. 14th, Newcastle, 10-9-12, 39 points. 15th, Brigden, 7-12-12, 33 points. 16th, Watford, 6-10-16, 28 points. 17th, West Ham, 7-6-18, 27 points. 18th, Bournemouth, 7-6-18, 27 points. So they're pretty much tied. 19th, Aston Villa, 7-6-19, 27 points. And 20, Norwich City, 5-6-20 with 21 points. And now to La Liga we go. On Saturday, we had 4 matches. Actually, Friday, Sevilla and Valladolid ended in a 1-1 draw. And oh, by the way, back to the Premier League for a quick second. I forgot to quickly discuss Friday result. Actually, no, never mind. There wasn't any Friday result, so never mind. Take that back. So, back to La Liga. Sevilla and Valladolid tied at 1. And then Saturday, you had the Athletic Club over Mallorca 3-1. Celta Vigo and Barcelona ended in a 2-2 draw. Osasuna over Leganes 2-1. And Atletico Madrid over Alaves 2-1. Yesterday, we had 4 matches. Levante over Real Betis 4-2. Villarreal over Valencia 2-0. Eibar over Granada 2-1. Real Madrid over Espanyol 1-0. One match today, 4 o'clock, you have Getafe and Real Sociedad. This is a great match between two very good teams. This is similar to today's Premier League match in that one team is better at one thing and the other team is better at the other. Getafe is better than keeping the ball out of their net better than Real Sociedad, but Real Sociedad is better than Getafe than putting the ball into the net. Yet another tough decision here. I'm going to go with Getafe to win. Do I feel good about it? No. I think a draw is very likely here as well. But I'm just going with my bones. I like Getafe to pull off the win here at home against Real Sociedad. So give me Getafe. And now the standings. Real Madrid's in first place, 21-8-3, 71 points. Second place, Barcelona, 21-6-5, 69 points. Third place, Atletico Madrid, 15-13-4, 58 points. Fourth place, Sevilla, 14-12-6, 54 points. Fifth place, Villarreal, 15-6-11, 51 points. Sixth place, Getafe, 13-10-8, 49 points. Seventh place, Real Sociedad, 14-5-12, 47 points. Eighth place, Valencia, 12-10-10, 46 points. Ninth place at the Athletic Club, 11-12-9, 45 points. 10th place, Granada, 12-7-13, 43 points. 11th place, Osasuna, 10-11-11, 41 points. 12th place, Levante, 12-5-15, 41 points. 13th, Real Betis, 9-10-13, 37 points. 14th, Valladolid, 7-14-11, 35 points. 15th place, Eibar, 9-8-15, 35 points. 16th place, Alaves, 9-8-15, 35 points. 17th, Celta Vigo, 7-13-12, 34 points. 18th, Mallorca, 7-5-20, 26 points. 19th, Leganes, 5-10-17, 25 points. And 20th, Espanyol, 5-9-18, 24 points. Okay, now we're going to go over the NASCAR results from the weekend. We'll start with Saturday's Cup Series race at Pocono. Kevin Harvick won the race. I picked Kyle Busch to win the first of the two Cup Series races down in Pocono. In second place was Denny Hamlin. Third, Eric Almirola. Fourth, Chris Bell. Good finish for him. Almirola in third was really good too. Kyle Busch, my pick, sixth. Martin Truex, seventh. Clint Boyer, eighth. Michael McDowell, eighth. Good for Michael McDowell. Ninth, Brad Keselowski. 10th, Chris Buescher. 11th, Matt Kenseth. Good finish for Matt Kenseth. 12th, Ryan Blaney. 3rd, Matt DiBenedetto. 14th, William Byron. 15th, Ryan Newman. 16th, Cole Custer. 17th, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 18th, Kurt Busch. 19th, Austin Dillon. 20th, Ryan Preece. 21st, Jimmy Johnson. 22nd, Bubba Wallace. 23rd, Corey LaJoie. 24th, John Hunter Nemechek. 25th, Chase Elliott. 26th, Ty Dillon. 27th, Alex Bowman. 28th, Daniel Suarez. 29th, Brendan Poole. 30th, Tyler Riddick. 31st, J.J. Yeley. 32nd, John Belicki. 33rd, Garrett Smithley. 34th, James Davidson. 35th, Timmy Hill. 36th, Joey Logano. Dismal finish for Joey Logano. 37th, Joey Gase. 38th, Eric Jones. 39th, B.J. McLeod. And 20th, Quinn Houff. So, interesting results from Saturday. And now we'll go to Sunday, but we'll start with the Truck Series, which was the first of 3 races in a single day from Pocono. I apologize to my listeners. I forgot to give out a pick for the Truck Series for Friday, but my pick was Ross Chastain. And your winner for this race was Brandon Jones. A good win for Brandon Jones. Austin Hill second, Sheldon Creed third, Todd Gilliland fourth, Ben Rhodes fifth, Ross Chastain, that was my pick, he came in sixth. 7th, Brett Moffitt. 8th, Stuart Friesen. 9th, Tyler Ankrum. 10th, Derek Kraus. 11th, Grant Affinger. 12th, Tanner Gray. 13th, Johnny Sauter. 14th, Zane Smith. 15th, Parker Kligerman. 16th, Bailey Curry. 17th, Jordan Anderson. 18th, Spencer Davis. 19th, Tyler Hill. 20th, Robbie Lyons II. 21st, Chase Purdy. 22nd, Spencer Boyd. 23rd, Josh Rumi. 24th, Corbin Forrester. 25th, Corey Roper. 26th, Brian Dawzat. 27th, Ray Cicerelli. 28th, Jesse Awuji. 29th, Tim Vines. 30th, Norm Benning. 31st, Clay Greenfield. 32nd, Jennifer Jo Cobb. 33rd, Christian X. 34th, Tate Fogelman. 35th, Brendan Poole. 36th, Ty Majeski. 37th, Raphael Lesser. 38th, Austin Wayne Self. 39th, Cody Rawbarg. And 40th, Matt Crafton. Now to the Xfinity Series results, which was the second of the triple header. My pick for this race was Harrison Burton, but the winner of this race was Chase Briscoe. Ross Chastain second, Jeremy Clements third, Myatt Snyder fourth, Michael Annett fifth, Justin Allgaier sixth, Brett Moffitt seventh, Timmy Hill eighth, Riley Herbst ninth, Jesse Little 10th, Dexter Bean 11th, Ryan Sieg 12th, Ryan Vargas 13th, BJ McLeod 14th, Kyle Weatherman 15th, Jeremy Earnhardt 16th, Alex Labe 17th, Vinnie Miller 18th, Cody Vanderwall 19th, Carson Ware 20th, Stephon Parsons 21st, Noah Gragson 22nd, Justin Haley 23rd, Bailey Curry 24th, Matt Mills 25th, Chad Finkum 26th, 27th, Stephen Licht 28th, Daniel Hermick 29th, Austin Cindric 30th, Tommy Joe Martins 31st, Jeff Green 32nd, Harrison Burton, so a bad finish for Harrison Burton. 33rd, Brandon Brown 34th, Josh Williams 35th, Joe Graff Jr. 36th, Brandon Jones. So that's your Xfinity race results. And then last but not least, the Cup Series results from yesterday at Pocono. My pick for this race of the Sunday Cup Series race was Denny Hamlin. And who won the race? Denny Hamlin. So I was correct there. Kevin Harvick second. So good weekend for Kevin Harvick. Denny Hamlin had a great weekend too. He came in second, obviously, in Saturday's race. Eric Jones, a surprising third place finish. So good for him. Chase Elliott fourth. Eric Almirola fifth. So Eric Almirola had a fantastic weekend. Another driver that I thought had a very good weekend for himself is the sixth place driver, Matt DiMedonetto. 7th, William Byron. He had a good weekend too. Clint Boyer 8th, Alex Bowman 9th, 10th, Martin Truex Jr. 11th, Brad Keselowski 12th, Matt Kenseth. Matt Kenseth, solid weekend for him. Kurt Busch 13th, Austin Dillon 14th, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 15th, Jimmy Johnson 16th, Cole Custer 17th, Ryan Newman 18th, 19th, John Hunter Nemechek 20th, Bubba Wallace 21st, Corey LaJoie 22nd, Ryan Blaney 23rd, Ty Dillon 24th, Joey Logano 25th, Ryan Preece. Ryan Preece actually started the race on the pole. 26th, Daniel Suarez. 27th, Brendan Poole. 28th, J.J. Yealy. 29th, Timmy Hill. 30th, James Davison. 31st, Quinn Houff. 32nd, Garrett Smithley. 33rd, Joey Gase. 34th, Josh Bilicki. 35th, Tyler Riddick. 36th, Chris Buescher. 37th, B.J. McLeod. 38th, Kyle Busch. So a bad weekend for Kyle Busch. Or it's not a bad weekend, but a bad race. He did good in the first race. Bad race yesterday. 39th, Chris Bell, and in 40th, Michael McDowell, who now has tied John Nemechek, the record for the most last place finishes in Cup Series history. Now I'm going to go over the Travelers Championship results from the weekend. My pick to win the event was Dustin Johnson. And who won it? Dustin Johnson. So I had a good weekend in terms of making predictions, other than the Harrison Burton call. But yeah, Dustin Johnson wins the Travelers Championship with a total of a minus 19th. In second place, Kevin Streelman with a total of a minus 18. Third place was a tie between Mackenzie Hughes and Will Gordon with a minus 17 final score. Fifth place was Kevin Na with a minus 16. Sixth place was a big tie with a score of a minus 15. Bryson DeChambeau, Ryan Amore, Scott Stallings is in there, Brendan Steele, and Patton Kazir. Good weekend for Patton Kazir. The 11th place tie was pretty big, all with a score of a minus 13. Rory McIlroy, who was obviously the favorite to win this. Abraham Ancer, who many people are high on right now. Patrick Cantley, Brendan Todd, Zach Johnson, Victor Hovland, No Sang Yul, who I thought had a nice weekend. Kim Sai-woo, who I thought had a good weekend as well, and Doc Redman. In the tie for 20th, all with the score of a minus 12, You have Xander Schauffele in there, Lucas Glover, Brian Stewart, and Joel Dahman. A big tie for 24th place, Phil Mickelson. And by the way, all the score to -11. Phil Mickelson, Patrick Reed, Lonto Griffin, Jonathan Vegas, Adam Long, Lonto Griffin, Wesley Bryan, Kyle Stanley, Sam Burns. The tie for 32nd among notables, Sergio Garcia, Tyler Duncan, and Paul Casey. Notables in the tie for 37th, John Rahm, Tom Hoge, with a score of a -9. And by the way, the Sergio Garcia group had a score of, all had scores of -10. Notables in the 41st tie, Brant Snedeker and Charlie Hoffman. They had a score of a -8. A big tie for 46th, all with a score of a -7, including Jason Day, who was in a major slump the last couple of weeks. This was his best showing since golf returned from the coronavirus hiatus. A tie for 54th as well, all at the score of the -6. Jordan Spieth was among those in that tie. The tie for 58th was just a two-way tie with a score of a -5 between Mark Leishman and Im Sung Jae. The 60th place tie was a three-way tie, all with a score of the -4, including Shane Lowry. Ian Poulter had a -2, came in 64th. And a couple big names missed the cut as well, such as Bubba Watson and Ryan Palmer and Daniel Lee, Gary Woodland, Matthew Fitzpatrick, Jason Kokrak, who a lot of people liked coming into this tournament as a dark horse. Justin Rose missed the cut as well. So a couple of big names, Justin Thomas, among those missing the cuts. I'm interested to see if Tiger Woods comes back. I'd love to see Tiger in one of these tournaments. I think he'll be back for one of the major tournaments to get everybody excited. Because obviously he won the Masters last year, so you would think that he'd come back for some of the bigger majors. So I think that is, one of the bigger storylines as golf is back and as the majors start to come along. So the next big or somewhat tournament in the PGA Tour is the Rocket Mortgage Classic in Detroit. And that'll take place from Thursday, July 2nd to Sunday, July 5th. So we got more golf for you coming up next weekend. And I'm going to close the podcast today by discussing breaking news from last night. And this is something I normally would open with, but instead I decided to close with it. Cam Newton is signing a 1-year deal, a minimum deal with the New England Patriots. This changes the outlook of the AFC dramatically as long as Cam Newton stays healthy. I think this is a risk worth taking, and I think it's a smart signing by Bill Belichick and company because, let's face it, Jarrett Stidham is unproven. He was the consensus worst quarterback that was projected to start in the league, and now the Patriots can say they don't have the worst starting quarterback in the league now that they signed Cam Newton. I think it's a no-brainer that Cam Newton's going to start. There's people that still think it's going to be Stidham. I think they're out of their minds, especially if Cam Newton's healthy. But healthy Cam Newton, I think would bring the Patriots. I was looking at them as a possible candidate for Trevor Lawrence. I thought they were going to be really bad with Jarrett Stidham. But Cam Newton, I think, is a 2 to 3 win improvement. So I would put them around 6-10, 7-9 type of category. Offensively, you got the running back duo of James White and Sonny Michel. a solid offensive line. You still have Joe Thuney, who's on the tag. Maybe they trade him, but I wouldn't trade him now, especially with Cam there. Cam really needs that protection, so he's got to have a good offensive line. Then you got Julian Edelman still there, who is solid, but I think that Tom Brady's weapons down in Tampa Bay are all better than Julian Edelman. That's for sure. But Edelman's a good player, but he's not as good as what Tom Brady has in Tampa. And certainly could arguably be one of the best three receivers Cam Newton's ever had. That's for sure. N'Keal Harry is somebody that could break out in year 2. Jacoby Meyer saw some time with the Pats last year, so the Pats receiver depth really isn't all that strong. Mohamed Sanu, I think, is still with the Patriots. And then at tight end, you got a little bit of a question mark as well. I don't think Ben Watson's still with the Pats. But maybe they pull off a trade for somebody or whatnot. I think that Eric Ebron would have been a nice signing for New England, but he wound up going to Pittsburgh and Ben Roethlisberger. But yeah, I think this is a smart signing for New England. I think their defense will still be very good, because a while ago I was thinking that this could be a seller at the trade deadline. With Cam Newton there, not anymore. That takes them out of that market. That makes that division more interesting. I think he's the best quarterback in that division now, especially when he's healthy. Josh Allen's coming. Sam Darnold's coming. Tua's coming. But if I had to power rank the quarterbacks in the AFC East right now, I would go Cam Newton, Josh Allen, Sam Darnold, Tua Tagovailoa. Ryan Fitzpatrick is not in the rankings because I really don't think he's going to be starting a lot. I think it's going to be Tua. I really do. I just have a feeling that's going to be Tua, and that city's just going to go nuts. But Tua's obviously number 4 on their list because he's an unproven commodity at the NFL level. But if it's the Tua Tagovailoa we saw in college that helped lead Alabama to the national championship, then you could argue right there at Cam Newton and maybe with Josh Allen among the better quarterbacks, and certainly better than Sam Darnold and what Sam Darnold has done in the NFL and with USC. But yeah, Tua's just an unknown because of his injuries and whatnot. That's why I put him 4. But if Ryan Fitzpatrick was starting, then I would put Fitzpatrick probably kind of right with Sam Darnold. You could argue 4th or 3rd for Fitzpatrick. Because Fitzpatrick's a mixed bag, because you're either going to get a great performance helping them win, or you'll get a really subpar performance that single-handedly loses you the game. So that's what makes Miami such an unknown in that division going into next year. And they obviously made a ton of improvements on the roster, most notably signing Byron Jones away from the Dallas Cowboys. And then the Patriots on defense, they still got Stephon Gilmore in that loaded secondary. Their pass rush isn't what it once was. Devontae Hightower isn't really the same guy as he was earlier in his prime. You could argue they probably shouldn't have traded away Chandler Jones because he's become a better player with Arizona. So you could argue that that was one of Belichick's mistakes over the last couple of years. But yeah, the Patriots are interesting again. And if we have a season, then I think Cam Newton will be the starting quarterback of the New England Patriots. And if he's healthy, they can absolutely challenge the Bills for the division. My issue is that I think that the Bills have more talent than the Patriots right now. And the Patriots' offense isn't what it was, even though it's Cam Newton, not Jarrett Stidham. And Edelman's injury prone. They don't have great depth behind Edelman. Their running backs are nice. They need a good offensive line. I have a lot of questions still with New England, but they certainly made themselves better yesterday by signing Cam Newton. And that's it for the podcast today. I was going to do 2013 top 10 NFL players and games today, but with the Newton news, I decided to hold that off, so I'll do that tomorrow. Baseball, top 10 players and games of 2013 on Wednesday, NBA Thursday, NHL Friday, and throughout the week we'll be analyzing all the games and any other news related to the return of sports after coronavirus hiatus and any other news that happens in the world of sports as well. Hope you guys have a great day, everyone.